Alright guys, so welcome back to another episode of Jai's Fishing. So previously we've been through a couple of rig tying videos, especially for the Apollo rig and the long snoot bottom feeder rig. Right, so today we are going into a knot tying video. So the knot in question is the FG knot. Okay, so you can see here. Okay, yeah, this is a completed FG knot. Okay, FG is literally spelled FG lah, F and G. Okay, I don't know why it's called that, but it's called that. And the purpose of an FG knot, okay, for beginners or people who don't fish, okay, is basically to connect a braided line to a monofilament shock leader. And the reason why we do this is because when a fish takes your bait or your lure and it swims a rock or it swims into a rock to hide, the shock leader will actually absorb the abrasion way better than a braided line can. Yeah, so that's the reason we tie a leader to our main line. Yeah, so the connecting knot that we use to connect the leader to our main line is called the FG knot. Okay, there are many other knots, including the Braid or the can't remember, something Braid knot lah. Yeah, so which you can also use to connect braided to monoline. But so far in our experience, we found that the FG knot actually works best because it's the smoothest for casting and it's very strong. Yeah, so the only thing is that you have to tie it very tightly, yeah, to make sure that it doesn't come out. Yep, so anyway, I'll move on with the tutorial. Alright, so now I have one of my reels down here. It's a Daiwa Fuego, and this is the braid, 30-pound braid. So I just cut off my old leader. Yeah, so I will retie it to show you guys. Okay. So the first thing you would want to do is to take out a length of leader. So about maybe 1.5 arms length, and you want to double it back on itself. So you take the tip of the braided line and you just fold it back on itself. So this is what you will get. Two of your leader lah, basically, with a loop here at the end. Yeah. Okay, so what you want to do with this is that you want to wrap a few rounds around your small finger. Okay, put your fourth finger on top, wrap another 1 round maybe, and over to your third finger, wrap another 1 round, and finally wrap one last round around your fourth and your fifth finger. Yeah. So now what you do is open up the loop and put your thumb and your second finger into the loop. Yeah, so what you get is something like this. I don't know if you all can see. The braided line is a bit thin. Okay, yeah, so you will get this bit of braided line that is strung across your second finger and your thumb. Okay, so I'll just repeat very quickly. Okay, 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, and then this loop, open up, thumb and second finger go through. So you have like that, with the line curled all around your fingers. Okay, so this part is important, okay, because the more rounds you wrap around your fingers, the more the pressure is spread over all your fingers. So the less likely the line will bite into your hand when you tie this knot. Okay, again, good advice is to wear gloves when you tie this, because okay, you all can see lah, the line has already bitten into my small finger. Yeah, so good advice is to wear gloves. If you don't have, like me, then no choice lah, wrap a few more rounds so that you spread out the pressure on your fingers. Yeah, so anyway, let's proceed with the knot. Alright, so here I have my shock leader, 50-pound shock leader. Okay, so I have one end from the leader over here. Okay, so I don't need to pull out all the leader that I need right now. I can just use one end. Okay, so I'll be holding this in my right hand. Okay. Alright, so here is my reel, and here is the line that I've wrapped around my fingers. Okay, do remember to keep pressure at all times on your index finger and your thumb. So you can see the line is actually pressing to my fingers because I'm holding them apart. Yeah, so this is to keep pressure and make the knot tight. So in my other hand, I have my leader that I'm going to use to tie the knot. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to put it over, so over the braided line, and you want to twist it to the bottom. Okay, so that's your first twist. Okay, so you realize that the braided line has formed a little round around this mono leader. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is to bring this leader up and under. So that's the second step. And the third step is to bring it down again and under. Yeah, so basically what you do is you keep repeating. So you want to go over and under, and then over and then under, and then over and under, and over and under, repeatedly. So you want to repeat this many times, as many as you can manage. Usually I do about close to 100 times. Yeah, and if you can see my middle finger now, it's actually helping me to grip onto the mono line when I'm talking. Yeah, so I don't leave it just hanging there. I'm pulling the mono line tight as well. And your middle finger is actually very helpful in this scenario. So as you can see, if I bring it down, I can use my middle finger to grab it and hold it on. Then I can let go. Yeah, so if I bring it up, use my middle finger to hold it, let go. Yeah, so I can just keep doing this over and over and over again until this braided line, if you can see right now, is slowly wrapping its way up. Yeah, so that's what you want it to do, to wrap it upwards along the mono leader. Yeah, if you find that your knot is going downwards or is stacking on each other, then you should redo your knot. Yeah, so you want it to cover as much area as you can on this monofilament leader. Yeah, the reason being, right, the more area you cover, the more friction there is on your knot. Yeah, so the more stable and the stronger your knot will be. Yep, so anyway, I will keep wrapping this. Okay, so at one point, right, you will find that the length between your fingers is getting a little bit too short. Okay, and you cannot turn your monofilament leader any further. Right, so what you do now is you grab this point where the knot is open, okay, and you release the rest and you untwist by one round. Yeah, so this is also why you wrap your small finger and then 2 fingers and then 3 fingers, so you can count like how much you want to release. So you can open again and now you have extra line. Yeah, so if you know that you intend to release, let's say, only 2 fingers length, then the last wrap you want to do around your finger is the last 2. If you know that you want to release 3 fingers worth of braided line, then you will wrap the last one as a 3 finger. Yeah, so for me it was a 2 finger lah. So now I'm wrapping the 2 fingers. Yeah. So now I have more line, I can continue with my wrapping. Okay, so if like right now, right, I find that it's a bit too loose, so there's a bit too much line, I can also adjust it by going one more round around my small finger and then open it up again. So now it's just nice. Yeah, then I'll continue with my knot. Okay, so now as you can see, I have quite a long length of wrapping along my leader line. Yep. So it's time to move on to the
next step of the knot. Okay, so in the next step of the knot, okay, I will pinch again this open point and I will unwrap the line from my fingers. Okay, wow, look at that. Yeah, so you can see it has very clearly left me with a few marks on my fingers, which is why I highly recommend you to wear gloves while doing this. Okay, anyway, for the next step, you know that there are two ends to my braided line, right? One is this end here, which is connected all the way to my reel. The other is the loose end, which is the other end here, which is just hanging free. Right, so what I want to do is take the loose end, okay, put it, let's just put it one side. Okay, and this is my connected end to my reel. Okay, I want to put these two ends together. Okay, so the braided that's connected to my reel and the monoline, put them together. Okay, so the free end down here, okay, is what I will use to continue the next part of the knot. Okay, so what I will do is to go over these two, okay, over, and I will put it through its own loop down here, and I put through. So I'll just pull this tight. Okay. And then slowly I will slide it down towards where my knot ended. Yeah, so it's very important for this part to be very tight, because this is what will end off your knot, so that all your wrappings will not just fly loose. Okay, so this knot is called a half hitch. Okay, this wrapping thing is called a half hitch. Yeah, so what I want to do is tighten every single one as tight as I can. Okay, to make sure that it doesn't come out. So now you can see, okay, I hope you can see that there is a length of wrapping followed by one half hitch down there. Yeah, so I will continue doing half hitches, okay, along the length of this thing. Okay, so now that I'm done, okay, I've made about 20 half hitches. Okay, so if you look carefully down here, you will see this long wrapping, and then you'll realize that there's this beautiful curly thing at the top, right? It curls all the way around the leader until here. Yeah, so this curly thing, oh man, it's out of focus. Okay, so this curly thing, right, actually is a mark of how many half hitches you did. Yeah, so you can see it curls very nicely up the monofilament leader. Yep, okay. Alright guys, so here is my completed knot. Okay, you will realize that there is still one loose end here hanging out, and there is one end down here that is connected to my reel. Okay, so now what you want to do is to test your knot. Okay, so I close my bail, okay, and I basically reel a little bit, and then after that I will lock down my drag. Okay, so it's tight, and then I will grab my mono leader and I will pull, so just to make sure it's really tight. Okay, so reel in a little bit more, tighten the drag further, pull. Okay, so as you can see, it's getting harder and harder for me to pull.
So I will tighten even further, tighten, drag, and pull. Okay, so now you've seen that this knot can withstand almost full drag, okay, on my 4000 reel. Okay, so it's a very strong knot, can be trusted. Okay, and now all we need to do is to get rid of all the loose ends. So there is one mono loose end here, and there is one braided loose end over here. Yeah, so I'll just cut it away. Alright, so now I've settled the loose ends. Okay, I just cut it away lah. So this is my finished knot. You can see it's very smooth. Okay, so this fits very well for casting. Okay, as a general rule of thumb, okay, the minimum number of turns you need to go is 20, about 20 lah. And the minimum number of half hitches you do up here, okay, is actually about 6. Okay, that's about the minimum, bare minimum that you should be doing. Okay, for me, I'm more careful. Okay, our Singaporeans we call kiasu lah. Okay, I usually do about 50 to 100 turns, and then I'll do about 20 half hitches. Yeah, but that is a personal preference lah. So the bare minimum is about 20, and then after that 6. Yeah, that's about the bare minimum you should be doing. Okay. So this is your FG knot. Okay. The next thing you would want is to pull out however much leader you think you will need. Okay. Another general guide would be about 1 to 2 arms length. Okay, depending on your rod also. So if you're using a very long rod, you can have a longer leader. If you're using a shorter rod, you might want to put a shorter leader, so that your leader, the FG knot, actually doesn't go through your rod guides when you are casting. So it should be outside your rod guide, so it doesn't interfere with your casting. Okay, although personally speaking, sometimes I do cast with the FG knot inside the rod guides and it's been okay, I guess, so far. I know it's not really the right thing to do but it still kind of works for me. Okay, but the best thing is of course to leave it hanging outside so it doesn't interfere with your casting. Okay, so I will usually cut off about 1 to 2 arms length of leader. Okay, and do note that even though your leader is abrasion resistant, okay, you would want to change your leader after using it every so often lah. Right, so once you realize that it's starting to fray, or after maybe a few trips you realize your leader is starting to have like abrasions and little things coming out of it, yeah, so you want to cut away the leader and retie your FG knot. Yeah, so this is a very useful knot for you to know. You can tie it very easily, you don't need much tools to tie it. Yeah, and it's a very smooth and strong knot. Yep, so that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, hope you guys learned something, and yep, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next episode. Bye.